Hi, I'm Joe Scott. Welcome to Cup of Joe in the Morning podcast, where we like to get through the thick of things. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about my brother, my friend, my other, Kevin Hanran. Now, the story of Kevin starts off like any other, small town kid from Kansas City. Attended an all boys Jesuit high school, raised Catholic, just good old American boy. But the story of Kevin is much deeper than that, and I want to talk about the things today that make Kevin the man that we see today. Now, like I said first, Kevin was raised Catholic, and when I found out about that, to me that was very striking, because I'm a Christian, and when I decided to be his other, he said that he was a Christian, and I thought that meant he was a Christian like me, but as we walked to our event, he was telling me about his church and mentioned that it was Catholic, and completely caught me off guard. Now, the story of Kevin, of who Kevin is much more complex than just a Catholic. But since I said I'm a Christian, and that really struck me, I think I should talk about that first, and then we can get to the real depth of Kevin. So, like I said, as we're walking to our event, he mentions that this church is a Catholic church, and that perks my ears up, and now I have interest. So now I'm kind of glad that we're not going to an actual service, which is what I thought we were going to. We were just going to go look at an empty church, and I'd never been to a Catholic church before, so I was really interested. I wanted to look around and see if it was the same, or if it was any different, and it was different than a church that I would be used to going to, like kind of like I expected. So first we get in there, and immediately we're greeted by a father who was talking to some other people before we walked in, and he shakes our hands, and I think he recognizes Kevin, and he tells Kevin to show me around the sanctuary. So we walk to the back where the sanctuary is, and it's an extremely elegant room. It's not, most churches try to look nice, try to look presentable, but it's obvious that when this church was built, it was built with a purpose in mind, and that was to look like somewhere that God would want to live. Like, actually, it's very beautiful. The architecture is complex, and it's not just a hangar, where people just come to worship God. It's an actual it looks like a dwelling place of God, I guess is what you would say if it were made of wood. And not only that, but it's just so, everything's just so presented so well. There's so many displays and candles and plaques, and everybody's got a stained glass window, and the stained glass window says a little bit about who's who and everything like that, and everything is, it's a lot of information going on. It's not just it's not just a room with some Bibles in it. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of learning. It's really, it wasn't like anything that I was used to. The only thing that I thought, it kind of looked how I would expect it, but the only thing that I knew would be there were like the pews that fold down so you can get on a knee and pray. Other than that, I had no idea what I was in for. But, that was it. So, after we looked around, we decided to do our interview. So, I walked from the Catholic church on campus, to the Union, and we sat out there and we talked. And like I said, I'm still looking at this as a Christian interviewing a Catholic, and maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I was just in the moment, and that was really what was on my mind. So I was asking him these questions, and I'm trying to see exactly what it is he believes, and we really believe a lot the same, even though the churches that we subscribe to are so different, and obviously we still have our differences. But I mean, he seems like a guy that's got his head on straight, and to him it's just like these things are given, kind of. He just accepts them, and to him they're not really like a point of emphasis that he thinks about or goes into daily. What he's focused on right now, at least, is his schoolwork, because that's how he works. He's gonna focus on one thing at a time. So like when he said that, right now I don't have enough, I don't have the kind of time to really focus on God the way I know I should. He said once I graduate, I'll be done with school, and then I can go back and focus on those things. But I mean, I think he's got a good base right now as it is. He just has to prioritize, and that's part of being in college. So I asked him those things. Again, I was really sticking with the religious aspect, but there's so much more to who Kevin is, and it's made apparent definitely by his hero story. And just to give you a quick synopsis of his hero story before I go into it, he's a guy that says he never really thought about these kinds of things before he wrote this paper, but you can see that even without thinking about it, the transition that occurred in his life, if you just contrast the first sentence and the last sentence of his essay. Now, the first sentence of his hero story is, "In my life, I have struggled many times and have always figured out a way to get out of it. But college has been a whole nother animal, and there has been times when all I wanted to do was give up." That was the lead of his essay. All he wanted to do was give up. Now, the final sentence of his essay says, "I love visiting home and can't wait to go home for good, because I know the people that love and care about me are there, and they are the people that truly matter in my life." So, whatever happened between the beginning of the story and the end of the story, he clearly has a new outlook on life. And the only insert that we can see in there that would result in that is his family. And through reading this, it's apparent that that's what it is that made him really who he is. So I'll go over the story, and as I go over the story, try to keep in mind all the different things that Kevin is. Like I said, he's a Catholic, he's a man. He lives in Kansas City, Kansas. All these things are working together. He goes to a Jesuit high school. All these things are working together at the same time while he's living his life. He's not just these labels, he's also a person living his life. So we see him as a young boy in high school, a smaller, scrawny kid, the kind that's going to get picked on, not very good in class, bad grades, just, the kind that's susceptible to be bullied. And the few friends that this bully kid does have transfer schools, throughout his high school career. And that just kind of, makes him shy away from getting to know people. Now, when he's a senior in high school, his friends actually come back for Christmas. They come to visit. And what they decide to do is pop off some fireworks illegally. And they actually hit a house. And when they are caught and questioned about the house, they blame it on Kevin, who was actually not even had anything to do with it. Now, Kevin tries to tell his story, but the police don't understand. They don't want to listen. So, he gets charged and he everything is lost. Gets kicked off the golf team, which ruins his chances of playing in college. He loses all his friends again. He's ordered to stay away from them. And not that he wants to be around them anyway, because of what they've done to him. But you see where this leaves a person now when you have everything taken away from you, your friends, your fun. You already kind of a loner. I mean, to me, for a person even, the fact that he even still believed in God, which he never said he questioned, is commendable, and I respect him for that. So that's where we get at the end of Kevin's high school career, and that's where it hits a turning point in his hero story. To be continued.